Good evening. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, wanted to get on here and finally give my review. Gonna do a double header. We're gonna do NJPW Capital Collision, followed by Collision in Philadelphia. I also want to apologize in advance. I know I'm kind of late on this, but it's been a crazy past weekend. A lot of events to watch and catch up on, so yeah, it's been pretty crazy. But finally got around to watching both of these shows and going through them, so wanted to give my review with this video here. But as usual, first off, be sure to check out the link in the description to Game Beauty for an awesome lineup of video game themed makeup and cosmetic products. And if you see something you like and want to make a purchase, be sure to use the promo code BlitzballChamp and you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to check that out. Let me get some water. Okay, let's get started. So this past weekend, starting with Saturday, April 15th, we had New Japan Pro Wrestling Capital Collision, which took place at the Washington, D.C. Entertainment and Sports Arena. Shout outs to my good friends Virtual Kazama and Blackula, who attended the show live. So hope y'all had an awesome time. But let's get into the card. Okay, they did have a pre-show match, which was a tag team match, where they had, on one side, they had TMDK's Bad Dude Tito, Shane Haste, taking on the West Coast Wrecking Crew, made up of Jorel Nelson and Royce Isaacs. This was definitely a really good opening match. I know it didn't hit the 10-minute mark, but it was very action-packed. Two solid tag teams going at it. I like both teams. And I was pretty high on West Coast Wrecking Crew. Figured that they were going to pull this victory off. But, surprisingly, TMDK walks away with this, with the victory, as Bad Dude Tito pins Royce Isaacs after hitting him with a Ride the Lightning. So TMDK opens up this show with a victory. But this was actually a good tag team match. Okay, next up, we had a 10-man tag to start off the main show. So on one side, we had the team of the DKC, Clark Connors, Leo Rush, Rocky Romero, and Chuck Taylor, taking on the team of Kevin Knight, Gabriel Kidd, Speedball, Mike Bailey, Volador Jr., and KUSHIDA. Now, if you ask me, I felt like, even though everybody got in a good amount of action, I felt like this was a little one-sided in favor of, the team of Kevin Knight, Gabriel Kidd, Speedball, Mike Bailey, Volador Jr., and KUSHIDA. But that's just me. But felt like it was a little one-sided. But still, overall, still a pretty dang on decent match. Volador Jr. ends up picking up the victory for the team after hitting Rocky Romero with a backstabber and pinning him for the 1-2-3. Now, after the match, there was a moment outside of the ring as they were exiting where the DKC and Clark Connors kind of had a moment. Looked like the DKC was trying to, comfort him or whatnot. And then Clark Connors ended up attacking the DKC after the match, just beating him down. So, quite a turn of events there. But yeah, Clark Connors letting out his frustrations, attacking, beating down the DKC. And that's how that segment ends. Next up, we had a singles match. AR Fox versus the leader of Bullet Club, David Finlay. I wish this match could have been longer because these two are really going at it, and I really felt like AR Fox showcased a lot of his ability and his offense in this match. I mean, he was pretty much hitting David Finlay with everything. You know, if one thing's for sure, they definitely made this look like AR Fox had a legit chance. But it's David Finlay. He's the new leader of the Bullet Club, so they got to continue to make him look strong. And he ended up getting the pin on AR Fox after hitting him with the Trash Panda. Now, after the match, he got on the mic, called out Clark Connors. Clark Connors came out to the ring, and he pretty much praised Clark Connors. Was like, hey, you know, I know your true abilities. I know you haven't been given the respect you deserve, but I do. Let me unlock your full potential. Join the Bullet Club. Let's do this. And then signified it with a 2-sweet. And the Wild Rhino, Clark Connors, has joined the Bullet Club. Not really, honestly, not really who I was thinking. But in a way, I'm happy for Clark Connors because I feel like this will get even more spotlight on him by being with the Bullet Club. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. Clark Connors and the Bullet Club just, I don't know. The idea just seems kind of weird. But then again, the idea of David Finlay as the leader of Bullet Club is weird. So, yeah, take that for what you will. That's really all I can say. But David Finlay with victory, and Clark Connors joins Bullet Club. It's crazy. All right, next up we had our first championship on the line, where we had the NJPW World Television Championship defended as TMDK's champion Zack Sabre Jr. defends against Filthy Tom Lawlor. Which this was a solid match. Definitely a great clash between two strikers, submission specialists. You know, definitely was back and forth. And, you know, it really could have gone either way. It was really close. And this was Zack Sabre Jr.'s 5th defense. You know, he's been on a roll since winning this title. And, you know, Filthy Tom Lawlor was a great challenger. Definitely a great challenger. You have to remember, Filthy Tom Lawlor was the first ever NJPW strong openweight champion. So, you know, this was definitely a good match. I enjoyed this match. But Zack Sabre Jr. was able to pin Filthy Tom Lawlor with pretty much a variation of the seatbelt clutch that Wheeler Yuta likes to use. But yeah, got him with the seatbelt clutch. Pinned him 1, 2, 3, and Zack Sabre Jr. still your NJPW World Television Champion. And will probably be for a while, if you ask me. I think he'll hold on to that title at least for a while. At least for another maybe 5-6 months, I would think. But you never know. Okay, next up we had a great singles match between the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii and El Desperado. This was definitely back and forth, a match that I enjoyed from start to finish. And it really could have gone either way, and I thought El Desperado was going to pull it off. But the Stone Pitbull had the biggest bark and the biggest bite as he was able to put away El Desperado with a vertical drop brainbuster and cover him for the 1, 2, 3. But a great solid match, and the Stone Pitbull comes out on top. But definitely awesome match. We were supposed to get Fred Rosser versus Juice Robinson, But Fred Rosser came out. Juice Robinson ambushed him and just beat him down. Chair shots, just kept beating the mess out of him. And pretty much gave him the message of, keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. So he pulled a Will Smith there. But yeah, because of that, match never happened. This ended up being a no contest. Juice Robinson also took out the referee, the scheduled referee for that match. So yeah, no match, no contest. Okay, next up we had a tag team match. We had LIJ's Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito taking on Yoshinobu Kanemaru and SANADA of Just Five Guys. Now, this was another great match. Definitely, ever since SANADA left LIJ, I felt like he's had to, take on some of the ranks of LIJ since joining Just Five Guys. So this is no surprise that once again he's back in the picture facing off against LIJ. So this was definitely a pretty good match and a surprising finish. A very surprising finish as Yoshinobu Kanemaru pins Hiromu Takahashi with the Samson clutch. Remember, Hiromu is the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight He's currently the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, not Tag Champ. So, this was kind of a big deal. But Kanemaru-san has a title shot pretty much owed to him anyway. So, we're going to eventually see that happen. But, big win for Just Five Guys. And with Yoshinobu Kanemaru pinning Hiromu Takahashi. Very, very good. Next up, we had pretty much my second favorite match of the entire card. We had the Strong Openweight Championship on the line as KENTA, the champion, making his second defense against Impact Wrestling's Eddie Edwards. Now, this really, I really liked how they told a story with this. Because remember, these two met each other before back in ROH. So, I think they said that was what? 14 years ago, I think they said? 14, 15 years ago? Something like that. But that was the last, it's been a long time since these two have faced each other. So, I really like, the video package that they did for this. And, a lot has changed since then. So it was really good to see these two go at it. And they definitely did not disappoint. They did not disappoint whatsoever. And, Eddie Edwards put up a great fight. He put up a really great fight. But, of course, KENTA was able to capitalize. Puts away Eddie Edwards. Of course, there were shenanigans, as expected. Some low blows, some championship belt shots. The shenanigans were there. After all, it is two heels facing each other. But KENTA made the best of it. Was able to put away Eddie Edwards finally, after hitting him with a GTS. But then afterwards, on the big screen, he got a challenge from Hikuleo. Hikuleo wants a shot at the Strong Openweight Championship. And KENTA accepts. He says, let's do it. He accepts. So, looks like that's going to be his next challenger. Should be good. And then the main event of Capital Collision came down to the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champs, my GOAT of tag teams, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns, defend against Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada, and the current IWGP Tag Team Champions, Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher, Aussie Open. This was definitely an awesome match. Definitely worthy of being the main event. I like all three teams, and they were solid. They were definitely solid. Really could have gone either way, especially between the Guns and Aussie Open. I feel like Tanahashi and Okada were just a nice added bonus. But Aussie Open cashes in and gets double the gold, as Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher put away Chris Sabin, double clothesline, then hit the Coriolis. 1, 2, 3. And Aussie Open are now your two-time strong openweight tag team champions. So now they have two sets of titles. Because remember, they dethroned Bishamon to win the IWGP Tag Team Championships at Sakura Genesis. So, Aussie Open eating good. They're eating good. So, congratulations to Aussie Open. But yeah, great main event. And yeah, looking forward to their next set of challenges ahead of them. Not only for the IWGP tag titles, but for the strong openweight tag titles, now in their second run. So, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so that was Capital Collision. Now let's switch gears to NJPW Collision in Philadelphia, which this was Sunday, April 16th. This was at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, this one didn't have a pre-show match, so this one pretty much went right into the card. So, started off with a very interesting tag team match. We had the team of Volador Jr. and El Desperado teaming up to take on Kevin Knight and Delirious. Kind of a weird combination there, Kevin Knight and Delirious. But, haven't seen Delirious in a while, so I mean, this is kind of cool, The match was alright. I mean, saw a good amount of high flying from Kevin Knight and Volador Jr. And Delirious is Delirious. That's really all I can say about that. But El Desperado was able to put away Delirious with a Pinche Loco for the 1, 2, 3. So, nice little showing there. But very interesting tag team match. Okay, next up, we actually had an ROH Pure Rules match with a very interesting matchup here. We had the android Alex Coughlin taking on Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. Very interesting clash of styles here, especially for an ROH Pure Rules match. I just wish they would have showcased it a little bit better at the show, like compared to how they usually do on their ROH shows. I get it. This is a New Japan show, but still, if you're going to have a match like that, have all the specifics, the deets and everything. But, it was still a good match. If anything, I was just intrigued at the matchup because, I don't know, Alex Coughlin, it doesn't seem like the type that I could see in a Pure Rules match. But that's just me. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, sure. But Alex Coughlin, it was interesting. And he made the best of it. He definitely made the best of it. Even to the point where he ended up picking up the victory. Nailed Hot Sauce with a very quick German suplex pin, just out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, and the android picks up the victory in this pure rules match. So, not what I expected, but hey. The matchup is intriguing, and Alex Coughlin made the best of it. Anyway, continuing on, we had ourselves a singles match, which, I mean, you could kind of say it was a borderline squash. But we had the DKC versus Clark Connors. A match I don't believe was originally on the card and pretty much was put on there. Didn't last long. It may have lasted maybe 5 or 6 minutes, but it didn't last. The DKC tried to open up quickly with an assault on Clark Connors. Didn't last. And the DKC ended up eating spear after spear after spear, just repeatedly, and just got jacked up until he eventually pinned the DKC after one last spear for the 1-2-3. But yeah. And of course, David Finlay was, out there with him. But, I mean, yeah. I guess you could say it was borderline a squash. But, yeah. Clark Connors embracing his new family, the Bullet Club. So, yeah. Okay. Next up, we had a trios match. We had TMDKs, Bad Dude Tito, Shane Haste, and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Team Filthy, made up of Filthy Tom Lawlor and the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Pardon me. This was a very action-packed match from both teams. A match I enjoyed very much. And Team Filthy was able to get some revenge, as Filthy Tom Lawlor was able to put away Bad Dude Tito after pretty much hitting like a straight jacket knee strike, almost kind of like a variation of a Kamagoye, just straight jacket knee to the back of the head. But yeah, Team Filthy picks up the victory in this match, but definitely was entertaining, exciting back and forth match between both of these teams. Okay, next up, Just 5 Guys back in action once again with this tag team match, as SANADA and Yoshinobu Kanemaru went up against the team of Rocky Romero and Homicide. Definitely a good match. Went longer than I thought it was going to go. But SANADA ends up pinning Homicide with O'Connor roll. Pretty much an O'Connor roll reversal, like into a bridge. But SANADA gets the 1-2-3 on Homicide, and for 2 back-to-back shows, they pick up victories. Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Capital Collision, SANADA and Collision in Philadelphia. So, good weekend there for Just 5 Guys. But match went longer than I thought it was going to. So, hey, it was all good. Okay, next up, we had the AEW International Championship on the line, as the champion, Orange Cassidy, making his 19th defense. Can y'all believe that? 19th defense of this title against Gabriel Kidd. I gotta give credit to Gabriel Kidd. He brought his A game, and he gave it his best effort. I'll give him that. And, Gabriel Kidd, he's been showing up and showing out quite a bit. Even just checking out his journey through being a New Japan young lion. It's definitely been showing. You know, I have hopes for Gabriel Kidd. I definitely do. And yeah, this was definitely back and forth. He gave it a great effort, but Orange Cassidy was just a little too much and was able to eventually put away Gabriel Kidd with the mousetrap pin. And then they had a little moment of sportsmanship afterwards, which I thought was pretty cool. But 19 successful defenses of the AEW International title for Orange Cassidy. Of course, you know, the defenses as the, you know, the All-Atlantic Championship, I mean, which was its old name. But anyway, another successful defense for Orange Cassidy. Next up, tag team action once again. LIJ, Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi, taking on Bullet Club's KENTA and Chase Owens. So good to see Chase Owens on here. But yeah, it was a decent match. It wasn't crazy long or anything like that. It was a decent match. But Tetsuya Naito was able to get the pin on Chase Owens after hitting a Destino. So LIJ was able to walk away 1-1 this past weekend. 1-1. Okay, next up, we had the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. First round matchup. Now, this was originally supposed to be Lance Archer versus Juice Robinson, but Juice Robinson got suspended and kicked out of this tournament due to the attack on Fred Rosser, but mostly attacking a referee. So he got removed from this and actually got replaced by Fred Rosser. So Fred Rosser has this opportunity against Lance Archer. And not only that, they raised the stakes. Well, not so much raised the stakes, but they made it interesting as they allowed this to be a weapons-free, no disqualification hardcore match. Which Fred Rosser was already banged up from the attack he received from Juice Robinson. And he hung in there. He definitely hung in there with the big guy, but it wasn't going to be enough. I mean, these two tore each other up, used all sorts of weapons, but Fred Rosser just wasn't going to put away Lance Archer. Lance Archer hit him with one really good, devastating lariat, and then pinned him for the 1-2-3. And Lance Archer advances in the tournament. So, you know, the IWGP United States Championship, you know, a title that Lance Archer has held before. So, definitely, I could see him perhaps getting this title back. At some point. At some point. We'll see. But it is a title he has held before. So we'll see what happens. Alright, the main event ended up being for the strong Openweight tag team titles. So once again, these titles defended in the main event. But this time, it was Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, Aussie Open, making their first defense in their second reign against the team of Lio Rush and Tomohiro Ishii. Now, I will say, they definitely made their best use of the time in this match. I mean, this was at least a 20-minute match. And, you know, Lio Rush, Tomohiro Ishii, not really the ideal tag team, especially not compared to Lio Rush and Yo. But they made the best of it. They made the best of it. gave a good effort, but there was no way they were beating Aussie Open. Let's just keep it real. They weren't going to beat no Aussie Open. But Aussie Open puts away Leo Rush with a Coriolis. Kyle Fletcher gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. And Aussie Open still retain the strong openweight tag team championships. So, a great weekend for Aussie Open. Winning the titles back at Capital Collision, successfully defending them at Collision in Philadelphia. So, they've been on a roll lately. And now they're double champs. They've been on a roll. But yeah, so great weekend for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Not only that, they announced a very big surprise. So there was a segment. It was actually after the LIJ tag team match where Rocky Romero came out to the ring, met up with Hiromu Takahashi, and it was announced All-Star Junior Festival USA. That's right. On August 19th, right back in the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Man, Philadelphia is getting some mad love. But the All-Star Junior Festival USA is coming to Philadelphia Saturday, August 19th. So I can't wait till they start announcing talent for that show. And I believe midnight of April 16th was when they opened up for ticket purchases, I believe. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. But another big show to look forward to for New Japan Pro Wrestling, or just in general. They're going to have a whole bunch of talent from multiple promotions. At least that's what the idea was when they did it before in Japan. So, USA will get a taste of that in Philadelphia. Oh my God, y'all are so lucky. But I think that's really cool. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. Like I said, both shows were good. Both shows were good. And yeah, looking forward to what they got coming next. Like I said, they're getting ready to do the Road to Wrestling Dantaku. They got that coming up. Best of Super Junior in May. Resurgence in May. Dominion in June. Of course, they recently announced All Together again. That's in June. So, a lot to look forward to. But, that'll do it for this video. Like I said, be sure to check out Game Beauty. And also, let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Did y'all enjoy both shows? Capital Collision, Collision in Philadelphia. What did y'all think? Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed evening, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Take care. Peace.